Yeah. Your first run was pretty good as far as your first court appearances. I remember
by a lot.
Yep. My first three. Let me talk about the first two. Not so good.
That was the top 270 moments of my life.
Yeah. So my very, very first one was I was asked to go for another attorney. This was probably like a week into me being sworn in. So I'm asked to go and ask for a continuance on a misdemeanor up in Vista. Yep, it was that individual judge. Let's just say that at that point,
ISS 5 VNL SAC?
That's right. And, at that point, I had no context about various characteristics or temperaments of judges, right? I mean, I was pretty new. So I didn't realize what I was kind of up against. They're like, oh, yeah, it's going to be fine. Just go and ask for another date. Just ask for a continuance. So I go, and I remember I had a cold, and I wasn't feeling great. And I was like, okay, well, this will be okay. I'm going to go, and I'm going to do my thing. And the night before, I had my legal notepad, and I wrote out, like, all my points and all the things I wanted to do and the dates. And, I was very prepared.
Willis Reed over here.
Don't know who that is. So I show up. I say, good morning, Your Honor, blah, blah, blah. We'd like to ask for a new date. Here's the date. Here are the reasons. And she looks at me and she goes, your motion's denied. The trial will stand. You're not going to get a new readiness conference. Have a nice day. And I said, oh, okay. So I go back, and I'm like, this is my very first request in court. Everybody's telling me it's a simple one, and it got denied. I'm like, this is not a good start. So that was number one, right? And then I later find out that she's kind of, that was kind of her thing, right? She wanted to keep cases moving and would not, freely grant continuances. So then my next court hearing, again, very similar. I was making an appearance for another attorney, and it was a warrant recall.
That for me?
No, it was for
Was it your warrant?
our friend's wife, who's also, So I go and I ask for the warrant recall, and everybody's like, oh, no worry, this is easy. Like, you're just going to go and make the request. And so in that department, there was a judge who was sort of substituting in for the regular judge in that department. And it happened to be another judge who some people may describe as curmudgeon-y. Is that?
Was it my most recent?
No.
Oh, was it my friend?
It was your friend. That
was the one.
That's the one. So I go and I ask for the warrant recall.
You a curmudgeon.
That's very, very true. So I show up and I ask for the request to withdraw, to recall the warrant, and he goes, no, I'm not going to recall the warrant. And I think that isn't there like a $150 fee? And he looks over the clerks and goes, yeah, we're going to go ahead and assess that $150 fee. And the clerks are like, Judge, we normally waive that fee. Like, we don't assess that fee. And he goes, no, I'm assessing it. So I'm like, oh my God, this is not good.
Why do people hate you?
I don't know. It was my first, okay, and by the way, this was before I had grown out my beard, which, I think is somewhat related to this.
Is it?
Yeah.
Tell us why, though.
Because before my beard, I looked like a baby. So I thought that I was just like, it was apparent that I was a very brand new lawyer. I was very young. And judges just love to have fun with just picking on the young lawyers.
And now you're a man.
So now now I'm, this is 13 years later. But now, and then I was like, I should grow a beard to look more mature and look like I've been around for a little longer. So I go back, and then we go out to, so I'm coming out, I'm going to lunch with like David and a couple of our friends, who are also lawyers. And like, so how'd your hearing go? I'm like, not good. Like, what happened? I'm like, this is what he said. And David started laughing uncontrollably, as if like the best thing had ever happened, that, his friend and young attorney friend.
Rite of passage.
Rite of passage is what you said. You're like, oh, that judge? Yeah, I definitely see that happening. And those were my two.